Today's journey is default journey of life to life of a seeker to succeed in meditation. So today's journey is default journey of life to a life of seeker that helps you succeed in meditation. So what is this default journey? Again, I'm invoking a couple of the teachings of the great master. And once you understand that and keep contemplating, what will happen? The life is going to change. So what is this default journey of life? Our experiences, pleasure, pain, profit, loss, victory, defeat in our life, day-to-day life. At the emotional level, you say something, oh, don't you agree with me? No. And what happens to your mind? I want to buy this thing, but I cannot afford to. What happens? So you see that this is the default journey of life. Every day we create one impression of likes and dislikes, profit and loss, victory and defeat, pain and the pleasure. And some of them we hold inside. Others, we release it. When we release so-called the reaction and the pain, no, I feel very bad what you said to me. You see, this is happening almost every day. Now ask yourself, how long it has been happening? Keep a smile on the face. That is very important. So what is happening? Can you see how long it has been happening? For days after days, for weeks after week, for months after months, for years after years. Tell me if it is not happening. And if it is happening, have you done something? Yes. Yes. What I did? I stopped talking to that guy who reacted, even if I told him that he does not understand. We married, something happened, divorce. We changed our job. No, I'm only talking of my own experiences first. Days after days, weeks after weeks, months after months, years after year. Did you ask this question, what kind of a life I'm living? So we did something. And what we did, we made everything in the world responsible for my sorrow and suffering. One more point to be understood. It took almost 3 to 4 years for me to reach to that state of the mind. My master said, there are many objects outside. Many objects. My relations, my friends, my foes, my house. Lot of objects outside. Pay attention to this. And you have to contemplate this week. Many objects outside. And every object is different from one another. And different than all the objects is you. That is different from all the objects. The journey of mindfulness starts there. When the mind inquires, who is that one inside me when that you comes from the mind through the sense organ, perceives this world outside differently. And we see different object. Balraj is different from his son, Paul is different from Priscilla. You have a different house, you have a different objects, but it is only one that perceives. Single you, many objects outside. This is one way of contemplating and reflecting on the life. The moment you see that through your awareness in the mind, the default journey breaks up. But now look the other side. Why we continue the same journey? Because the sense organs and the mind that perceives the world outside appears to be very near to me. I'm thirsty, I take a glass of water. I like pasta, I go to a restaurant. It appears very near to me. That is fact and the truth. But we never contemplate in our mind whether these objects that gives us a pleasure is the happiness located in those objects. No. Now, I don't want to talk about mindfulness. I don't want to understand your philosophy. Whatever I like, I get it. And whatever you dislike, and you like something for about a week or a month, and after that, that liking disappears. Have you ever thought of it? The moment you don't think of it, habitual journey continues. And the habitual journey is the default journey of the life. I use this term, we say that default setting of the computer, default setting of the phone. Every time you open the phone, you get the same. You buy a pre-recorded DVD. Does it give you something new, even after 10 years? That is why we do not succeed in meditation. The success in meditation must lead to an awakening. And what is that awakening? That you inside is separated in the mind from the body, mind, intellect, ego, the world outside, pain and the pleasure. Separation. And that separation is known as, in Eastern wisdom, as viveka. Viveka leads to dispassion. Dispassion leads to deep relaxation, a natural withdrawal of the mind. Then you start working on the mind with a tremendous faith that there is a true nature inside. You succeed. Awakening takes place. So I have made you understand. I'm rephrasing that. When I'm speaking, your mind is now understanding that the default journey of the life is causing the suffering all the time, and we want a permanent state of happiness. So because it is a habitual journey, and because we have been repeating days after days, weeks after weeks, months after months, we continue to suffer. So, because of that habitual journey, our structure of thought, a repeated thought pattern, creates a wrong notion. Wrong thinking, And then what happens? Identity crisis. What is that identity crisis? I don't know, who am I? The subject matter that was dealt by every master. They use the different words. They say, oh, you are in identity crisis. Ask yourself, who is suffering? Yes, we agree, your spouse is bad and he is cruel or she is cruel, whatever it is. Your relation is cruel. Why don't you pay attention to yourself? No, first let me solve this problem, and that problem is never solved. Take the smartphone here. No, I want to buy a new one. In anything, anything. So from that wrong notion, which continues to repeat itself, then what happens? It leads to identity crisis. What is that identity crisis? How can we understand that? In a simple and easy word. So Master uses two words. Swabhava. Swabhava, personality, my habit, some of cherished ideas. And those cherished ideas may have a strong likes and dislikes. It may still be happening in your mind. I can understand that. So what is my personality? If I create a mathematical equation, U, that is Swabhava, the personality, is equal to cherished ideas, thoughts of likes and dislikes, movement of pain and the pleasure, plus sticking to some thoughts created by the habitual mind, activities that you like and dislike, relationship, and that is what we say you, and that is the problem, that is the identity crisis, and that is caused by the mind. We say mind is the cause of suffering and mind is the cause of happiness. Mani Manushyanam Karanam Bandha Mokshayo Bandhai Vishaya Saktam Nirvishayam Muktai Smratam. What should I do? So if you are a seeker, you ask, what should I do? Now I recognize it. So we use another word, Swarupa. Swarupa means your true nature, your essential nature. What is that you which is essential nature? I pointed out in the beginning that objects are different. I perceive these objects and people and things and places are definitely different from one another. And different than all the objects, there is you from where you see these objects are different. That you is your essential nature. Because I don't recognize it, I don't live in it. So the Master says you are living in ignorance. Ignorance is not that we are not intelligent. But we intelligently live in ignorance. Because of identity crisis. So the Eastern wisdom says, the instrument of knowledge. What is Eastern wisdom? What I have been talking all the time. Look at this. So what is the instrument of knowledge? Sense organ. Oh, do you hear this? Instrument of knowledge? You can make out. I want to find my essential nature. What is the instrument of knowledge? Eastern wisdom. How simple it is. There is no belief, dogma, cult, religion, conditioning. Why? This instrument of knowledge makes your mind free from the dominance of the sense organs and the mind. That is why we say you have to transcend the mind to reach to the state of mindfulness or meditation. One more minute and then we'll start with our journey. If I say, what is the track? When we go to the college and then we have an orientation, and after that we say, here is the curriculum. This is the track by which you can succeed in getting a certification of MBA or medicine. So what exactly is the track? That's not enough time to talk about it, but just I give you a hint. The first step is the default journey of life I have to recognize and understand, and to clear that here I have to reach. Clarity is there? Yes. Second point, I have to become a seeker. What it means? The moment you join any course in a university, you become a seeker. So there needs to be some preparation done before you enter into any stream. Third is learning the principles to drop that identity crisis. Now you're learning those principles. That is what happens in any course. You see that is how it is designed. So our masters have designed the third part. So once you learn the principle, then you drop clinging to the identity crisis through contemplation, reflection, and practice. So the fifth step comes, along with everything, you continue the practice. That is, you can say, a beginner's meditation. The next step is, now you are in deep meditation. In deep meditation, what happens? You are sitting with eyes closed. People have a lot of fancies. What are those fancies? I see the ocean. Why don't you see the ocean with your naked eyes? But it has its importance. When you see that vision, it explains the calmness, but don't get attached to it. So what happens in deep meditation? 1. I am, you are aware of, unattached. I am meditating, you are aware of. Practice is going on, you are aware of. Only 3 things. Knower, knowing, and known. What happens in deep meditation? 2. That is your 7th step. That trinity, that these 3, I am meditating, and the very process is lost in the mind. The mind becomes totally transparent. In that transparent mind, the self reveals. How the self reveals? In a very calm water, in an ocean, in a full moonlight. That moon, the real moon, reflects in the mind of an ocean. Be very clear about it. If you are clear, it's very easy to treat the path. What happens then? Mind loses all the identity crisis. Ego is lost. The habit is lost. You lose everything that you have cherished. What is the 8th step? Awakening. That is known as simple way. And the last step, that is we are going to do at the end of the session. So last step, what happens? That now the student has become a master. What level of the master? Now that seeker communicates and confirms what is his experience to the master, and the master enjoys listening to it. So there is no doubt, there is no wrong notion. Now that student speaks to the master because he has the revelation. Then what happens? Then the two masters walks alone. They follow their own path. The journey is complete. We are going to do it after a session. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Position of the body. Who does it? Mind. Which mind? The same mind, the habitual mind. We are giving it a direction. So first adjust and align the position of the body. You can sit or lie down in any position of the body. There is no issue. The second, again the same mind looks at the neck joint. You feel the sensation. Being comfortable and steadiness. The mind looks at shoulder joints. You feel the sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. So you are not reminding to the mind to follow the default journey of life that we have been doing it days, weeks, months. Your mind may be thinking of others, your relations at this moment. Let the thought come and you continue. See that we have introduced something new to the mind. That is what is being comfortable. Move the mind on the hip joint. Feel the sensation being comfortable and steadiness. The mind goes to the knees. You feel the sensation, feeling comfortable and steadiness. I've been repeating it again, but if it becomes a habit, default journey of the life. Why it happens? Because we don't practice with the clarity of understanding. So if you don't practice without clarity, then what happens? Our mind says, this beer guy, this still speaks of the same thing. Let me go to the other teacher. Go to the other teacher. You do other practice. What happens? The mind remains the same. That we don't understand. That is why our master lays great emphasis to become a seeker. Anyhow, the entire body from the top of the head to the toes, feel the sensation being comfortable and steadiness. At the beginning, we talked about one you going through the mind and the sense organ. We perceive the difference and the duality of the likes and dislikes. So we are here to find out that you, not personality, but Swabhav, Swarupa. So, with that awareness and aspiration, look at the head and the neck. The mind moves on the head and the neck. Be there and feel sensation. That little bit deepens. Sensation is, life is sensation, if I say so. With that deepening of the sensation, there is also a sense of relaxation. Mind may be jumping around, let it jump. And you experience the stillness. It is very important. A natural state of the stillness is experienced by the mind, prevents the mind to go outside. Enforced stillness through the mind of the body causes likes and dislikes. It moves your mind to the same habitual pattern. We are going little subtler, deeper. Looking at the right arm. So now check, the mind is engaged completely, absorbed completely in looking at the right arm. It does not complain and react. I have seen it millions of times. What you are doing? Habitual. Separate that knowledge in your mind. It will lead you to the culmination where the two masters walk alone. Experience the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Move the mind on the left arm. Do you see that I gave you this practice? Now you are doing it with a clarity and understanding. So what will happen? It deepens the practice. The mind goes to the left arm. Be there. Feel sensation, relaxation, and stillness, my friends. Mind goes to the chest, rib cage, and the belly. Check it again. Where you check it? In the mind. That the mind is engaged and absorbed in seeing the rib cage and the belly. So what happens? Experience of sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The mind goes to the right leg. Feel the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The left leg. Mind feels the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The entire body. Mind feels the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Here, a point of understanding and the wisdom. I don't like this practice. Can you give me something else? I don't like pasta. Can you give me chicken? No, I don't like it. Can you give me milk? What the mind is doing? Is the mind searching for you, or it is searching for a variety, differences, Now that person will never succeed. So our mind also, in ignorance, likes to choose what it likes, not what is right. And we see, in our country now, we see that, oh, I like this, I like that. No, it doesn't work. That is why we have to become a seeker. And then the path, the track is clear. So look at the head and the neck inside. The purpose of any practice is to move the mind within. So what is outside the head and the neck? We have already confined the territory of the mind. What is that? Sensation, relaxation and stillness outside the head and the neck. And you are looking inside. That variety, that differences are lost in awareness. They multiply in ignorance, in habitual movement of the mind within. You clearly now understand. So when you look inside the head and the neck, and it is your personality. So everything what the mind has accumulated over the years returns, and then you claim, my mind was thinking a lot. I'm also answering those questions which generally pops up in your mind during the practice of meditation. So in the mind, you have to separate this through the knowledge, and then you look and experience the space and the sensation. The sensation represents the calmness, and the space represents the state of the quietness. Can't you see the space in a room where 50 people are sitting? Yes. So when you're looking at the people, this room is totally filled. But still, you are aware of the space. So turning of the mind through your awareness will help you. And then even if the million thought pops up in your mind, it will not affect you. How come? There are 50 people in a room, you are aware of the space in the room, and you found your place to sit. How come? Because of the space. See, I'm just trying myself best to express in a way that goes deeper into your mind. Move the mind on the right arm outside. Outside, return to the sensation, relaxation and stillness. But if you return to the variety in the world, I know that now you can easily separate your personality from the existence which is our real nature. And then look inside the right arm. Your awareness separates, and then you experience the sensation in the space inside. That is calmness and quietness. So what is happening? The mind is living within. That is on that basis when the person becomes the seeker, commits to the journey, the first 6 steps of Eightfold Noble Path. The 7th is the mindfulness practice. It becomes easy. And that is what I'm doing. The mind goes to the left arm outside. Look at the mind. It experiences this sensation, relaxation and stillness. And inside the left arm, It is aware. It knows sensation in the space. You start looking for the sensation. That means the mind is looking for a space where 50 people are sitting, to sit there. That's why I gave that example. Be very clear about it. So we found the space and you are sitting there means what? 49 people are your distractions of the mind coming from the personality. Is not disturbing you. You don't blame and complain. My mind is this and my mind is that. Just see that point. Yes, I do like this physically. Why can't I do it mentally through the knowledge in the mind? So that's another subject. Move the mind on the rib cage and the belly. Outside, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. And inside, you know it. Sensation in the space. What would you name a person who is sitting in the room with the 50 people and blame and complaining that the rest 49 people are not helping me to be in peace? I don't want to make any statement, just understand that. That is why we say, let the thought come and go. Move the mind on the right leg. Move the mind on the right leg. Feel sensation, relaxation, and stillness outside and inside. When you live within, then you experience calmness and quietness. But while giving the instruction, I change the order. Look inside. Space and the sensation. Experience the state of calmness and quietness. Confirmation. The mind is living within. Move the mind on the left leg. Feel the sensation, relaxation, and stillness outside. And calmness and quietness inside. The entire body, you see, one variety. What is that? Your body. Other variety, my body. Still others, the body of others. We are moving from many to one. This is a device. I have always been saying a tool. So move the mind on the entire body. Experience the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. And look inside the body. Look inside the body. Yes. And experience the calmness and quietness. Yes. Those who are the seekers on the path, they truly, consciously experience the mind is living within. When I stress that the mind is living within, in the mind itself has separated many varieties outside the world. And that drops the distractions of the mind. You might have heard many a times from inside. From inside, that is one that is looking at the breath with awareness. What that means? The one looking at the breath and divides into two. The breath is going in and breath is coming out. You see that any moment the mind comes out, it divides and perceives. Time is? See that. See that. The breath is going in and out. You're feeling the sensation. You see at a subtler level of awareness. Sensation when the breath goes in, sensation when the breath comes out. So you have 4 varieties, and then you do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. The mind becomes intensively aware. Oh, another variety. And who does it? You. I heard of an insect, who creates its own web, means home, beautiful home, and caught into the same web. And through the different tools, even when the mind moves on the breath with a variety, we want to drop the mind itself. You see that point? I dissected every step to make you understand based on the teachings of our great masters. In the state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness, awareness is outside the body. In the experience of calmness and quietness, the mind is living within. From within, it is looking at the breath, that is, knowing the breath, going in and out, feeling the sensation of the breath. Then, no change, but the mind still has a space to move anywhere, even when it is aware of the breath going in and out, feeling the sensation, and no change. It has an option to move out. Default journey of life, it is an option to move within. I believe you are clear. Well, if you are clear, so when the breath goes in, let the mind merge into the inner space like a drop of water. You cannot find it. When the rained water, the first drop drops into an ocean, merges, means you don't allow your mind to even return to the past. Without the past, you cannot have a thought. And when the breath returns, drop the mind into the outer space. I gave you an example. 50 people, you are sitting there. You cannot claim that those 49 people are creating problem for you. You look beyond the world. There is a room and there is a space. Perhaps today I opened up why I give those instructions. Actually, you're doing nothing. Even if 60 people are sitting and you are one of them, I'm simply asking you maintain that awareness of the space of the room. That is what I'm saying. When the breath drops inside, mind merges into the space. When the breath drops, it is only through the wisdom and the experience the mind realizes to do nothing. So I always give that step. Now do nothing. Remain as you are in the state of doing nothing, so that the experience reveals in the mind. Many experiences, and one of the most beautiful experiences that even when the mind does do nothing, I still exist. And who is that I? Our essential nature. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Simply it means let there be peace, peace and peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside, know your experiences and bring the hands down. You will be unmuting your device one after the other. It would be better so that there is no echo. So if Samir can do it, so that we can share. Yes.
You will listen to my words?
Yes, sir. What is your experience?
That today it happened like that. It was a very short. Some voice is. Sir, it was. I thought the meditation was of just 4-5 minutes. Means I was just so deep into it. I thought it finished very quickly. Means I thought I just closed my eyes few minutes back, and there are just after 4 or 5 minutes, 7 minutes, I have opened my eyes.
Wonderful. That's a beautiful experience. That is how we experience the state of timelessness. So let's, Priscilla and the Paul can share their experiences. How are you, Paul?
Doing well. I felt a vastness.
That's really good. That's good, yeah. The space.
Mm-hmm. I felt my body was very calm, and I thought about the space, and my hands felt like they were full of space.
Wonderful.
And I thought about the space a lot, and my body was very calm.
Very calm. See that. I think I made a point clear about the default journey of life too. A journey of a seeker. You know, we can become a seeker at this very moment because the mind has that intensity. On the other days, it does not. But that is how these masters have laid down the principles. No, stress. Settle yourself in becoming a seeker. And that's why we have these experiences. Wonderful. So, how about Kapila was very fast in... yes. My voice was breaking up, you know. Yes, yes. Now I have become old, you know that. Okay. Yeah, it happens. No worries, we will do it next time. So how about Ashok? Ashok is not able to do it. Yeah. Namaskar. Namaste. Yes, what happened?
I felt relaxed.
Yeah.
However, I was feeling some cold and cough.
Yes.
Relaxed.
You see that? Cold and cough is one of the 50 people sitting. I gave you the example. We need to enhance that awareness. Oh, relaxed, it's good. And now we will go to Terry. We heard all your conversation for 10 minutes before the beginning of a session. But now I want you to share the experiences of meditation. Terry, just unmute. I mute it to have a clear recording, but I cannot do it on my own. That you have to do it. Yes, you did it, Terry.
Right. I was able to get my awareness to go inside.
Wonderful.
But it kept going back out because there was a lot of distraction.
That's really good.
But I was able to view that as the 60 people or the 59 people.
Wonderful.
Back inside, it would go back out, I would bring it back in, etc.
You see that?
Now I'm trying to stay in that.
Yes. Don't try. If you try to stay as one of the 50 people, it will not happen. Just be there. You see that is the, I don't say trick, but that is the way it works. Wonderful. How are you, Shivam?
I'm fine. Am I audible to you?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm fine, and I feel relaxed today. And one thing I noticed when I was focusing on my different parts, like my right hand or my left leg, it was feeling like it was weighted too much. Like
Yes.
my leg is about 100 pounds or 100 kilos. I don't
Yes. Yes, when you experience that state of heaviness in the body, which means the second body, the energy body, is totally absorbing the physical one. We have 5 different bodies that we will talk in detail in the following session. So, who is left? Sangeeta and Pushkar. Yes, Pushkar first.
Seven, I take deep breath, hold, hand and leg have some pain. I cannot take deep breath.
Yeah. Continue the practice. It will happen. Don't worry. How are you, Sangeeta? The last one. And then I'll summarize in a minute. Yes. It is happening like me. It was blocking and... So... It's okay. Now see that summary is, you see that many points. Default journey of the life to a life of a seeker. Default journey of a life to a life of a seeker. And then we recognize in our mind, then the mind says how to change it. Then we also understand that you is one. One inside creates varieties, many outside. So where our mind has to be? On the one. The moment the mind is on the one, then what happens? The mind changes the direction from outside to inside. And when the moment it changes the direction, the mind starts living within. And then we say, mind, goodbye. And the moment we say goodbye, what happens? We experience the state of the vastness. That space, as Paul in the Presla was explaining. And also, the Samir was saying, look at this. So we have to slowly move to that state.